Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sip and a Smoke. How we doing today?
Welcome back, guys.
So today we are doing the smoking jacket. This is, I think, going to be kind of interesting. We've also got, what is this whiskey?
This is a 40 Creek copper still. It's a Canadian whiskey. And the cool thing about this particular whiskey, it's made with 3 different grains, and they are distilled individually in copper stills and then aged in oak barrels, white oak. This stuff is just, the first sip is just tons of flavor. And so I'm excited about this pairing because this is definitely a whiskey that is made for cigars, for sure.
Most definitely. So this is actually called the Smoking Jacket. It is by Hendrik Kellner Jr. and Davidoff of Geneva. So we've all had a Davidoff, and they're pretty good cigars. I've never had a bad Davidoff. So I'm excited about this. The Kellner Boutique Factory released this in September of 2013. It is a 60% Dominican on the wrapper, 20% Nicaraguan on the filler, and a 20% U.S. broadleaf. So it's 60% Dominican, 20% Nicaraguan, and 20% U.S. broadleaf. The wrapper is a 9-year-old Dominican Bono wrapper, Bayano, something like that. But the really neat thing is this guy Kellner, or Hendrik Kellner, actually got most of all the tobaccos that he's using from his sister's farm.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
the farm is in Dominican Republic or in...
honestly, I could not find out where exactly the farm was in everything I was finding out. I got all the information I could off of them.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, so far, just toasting the foot gave off such a good aroma. Very nice aromatic cigar, just by putting the fire to it. On the first draws, you get that spice. You get a little bit of pepper, a little bit of spice, but it's also pretty creamy. But it's a very aromatic cigar. Just smelling the smoke coming off of it is just beautiful smells to it, which pair so far really well with the spices, the nutmeg, just all the aromas that are coming off of this whiskey as well.
The creaminess of this one reminds me a lot of the Nevada by Fratello. When you hit that middle section that's just really creamy, it reminds me a lot of that.
Flavor-wise, it's buttery, but spicy. A little bit kind of salty in a way that I'm getting off of it, but I'm so far impressed by this cigar.
I'm honestly not getting any of that salt, but I do get the butteriness with that little bit of pepper on the back end. It's not real sweet on the wrapper. They said it's supposed to have a little bit of a sweetness to it, but I'm not getting that.
Yeah, and construction-wise, the wrapper is dry, has a very mild sheen to it. It looks like the wrapper's a little tightly stretched. You got a little bit of kind of stretch marks going on in mine here from the way it was rolled, but it's a tightly wound cigar. It's a solid body to it for sure.
Yeah. I tell you what I really like is mine actually started out and it was just burning in the center, and then it took me taking a few drags here, and it's already caught itself up on the outside. So that lets me know that it's actually going to stay. It should stay to a really good burn the whole time.
Absolutely. Yeah, mine's just going pretty razor straight as well. There's no large veins on it. It seems like a pretty well constructed cigar for sure. The draw, it's putting a lot of smoke out on the foot, but the draw is kind of not a tight draw, but you have to give it a puff.
Yeah. If you guys ever notice, I do that double puff where I pull it in real quick and then push out about half of it and then pull it in again. I find
that's kind of what it's requiring on this particular cigar to get a full mouth of smoke.
Yeah. So, But so far, it's actually a really good cigar. I'm not seeing any problems with it. It's not overly spicy, so it's just got that little hint of it in the back of your throat. Outside of that, it's
Yeah, and the pairing is working. I mean, I'm taking a couple sips here on the whiskey. Like I said, the whiskey gives you a little bit of spice, some nutmeg, some caramel flavors, a little bit of vanilla on the finish, and that is coming through with this cigar for sure. It's bringing out some of the sweeter qualities of this whiskey. And the unique thing about this, it uses rye, corn, and barley, and each of those grains is individually distilled and then put together in the barrel and allowed to age in the barrel. It's a higher alcohol content. It's 43% alcohol. The majority of spirits are usually 40% or 80 proof. So it's a slightly higher proof alcohol content, but it doesn't come off hot. It doesn't come off at all as being a high alcohol. It's just super smooth, and it warms your belly for sure.
Yeah, I'm actually, I'm really liking this, but I'm a little more excited for when the ice starts to melt a little bit, and it really brings out the bouquet a lot more. When it does that, you can taste a lot of the flavors a lot better because, at the first, when it's still pretty good, it is very strong. The alcohol content will just, that's what you taste a lot of, is just that alcohol. Whereas once you let it sit for a little bit and get that extra water in there, it really brings out the flavors of the whiskey.
Yeah, definitely. So far, a really good pairing, and like I said, this whiskey is definitely made for cigars for sure. It's got enough body, it's got the content and the structure there to hold up to probably even the more bolder, fuller body cigars as well. I mean, this is about a medium body that I'm getting off of the cigar.
Yeah, this is sitting right at a medium, guys. It's not this serious bold flavor. It is honestly a great cigar so far. As far as I can tell, it is a great cigar to have at any time. One of the things I really like is a cigar that you could have in the morning and in the evening at the same time. Or, you could have it either time, because there are so many times where if you wake up, you don't want a strong cigar. You want a much lighter cigar. This would really work for that, actually. This is the one that if you have a full meal, I don't know about you, but when I get a big meal, I don't really want a heavy cigar. I'm not feeling it. I just don't want to be overly full. But with this one, I can see having a nice full meal and then go, you know what? I'm going to have myself a cigar. And this is one I would pick for it.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is, like I said, it's burning very true. It's great construction. It's a great little cigar. So the size on this one is, you said it was 46?
46 by 7.
By 6.
By 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
46 by 6. So it's a good Toro, slightly narrower than a Toro size, but highly recommend it so far. We'll get into it a little bit more and check back in with you guys.
Yeah. Yes. All right. So we are about a third of the way down. As you can see, this thing is holding its ash really nicely, actually.
Yeah, the construction is real tight on the cigar.
Yes.
It's not getting soft from the draws and the heat accumulating, but again, the draw is a little bit tighter than I would like, but it's holding up pretty well, and it's staying razor sharp.
Yeah, it's an absolutely wonderful cigar so far. It hasn't really changed flavor on it at all.
No, it's staying creamy. The spice has subdued a little bit.
Yes,
but it's still staying creamy. Still has that white pepper.
Yeah, it's. I'm telling you what, I'm pleasantly surprised with this cigar. The whiskey is going just absolutely wonderfully with it.
Yeah, and as you were saying, once the ice melts a little bit, it opens up more of that bouquet. You're getting a lot more of the lighter flavors coming through, some more of the caramel, sweeter flavor profile, almost kind of like rum flavors I'm getting out of it too. Some like molasses.
Yes. Yeah. So, so far I am extremely happy. I mean, as you can see, that's staying pretty darn straight all the way through. All right, so for the final little bit, I got to tell you, I am pleasantly pleased with this cigar. It is absolutely wonderful.
You know, this thing is, I mean, it's been burning true the entire time. No issues with the burn at all. No issues with the draw, other than it's slightly a little tighter than I would like it to be. But the flavor has been consistent. It's just retained
It's a wonderful
kind of
flavor.
creaminess to it.
Yeah.
A little bit of just subtle spice. It's been very consistent throughout. And the pairing has just been amazing.
Oh, most. This is probably one of my favorite pairings so far. This 40 Creek is superb in just the way the whiskey's tasting, and once the ice started melting in it, it really opened up that bouquet in it, and wow, it changed everything. And the cigar, and as you can see, it's just staying really wonderful. And the flavor on this cigar is absolutely fantastic. It's got that nice creaminess to it, and heck, you're actually smoking it a lot farther than you normally smoke your cigars.
Absolutely. You know, and this is, to me, being a Davidoff affiliation, you can tell. You can tell in the flavor profile. You can tell, I mean, it kind of has that Davidoff flavor profile, that a little bit of a creaminess on the finish. Kind of reminds me of even Avos and some of those kind of medium to medium bodied Dominican cigars. So it's definitely very aromatic, beautiful smell in here, and it just pairs super well with the flavors, the spices, and the more kind of savory flavors that you're getting out of the whiskey itself.
Yes. So as far as the burn goes on this, I'm going to have to rate that at a 10. I mean, that is absolutely a perfect burn on this thing.
Yeah, definitely. Burn, construction, solid 10 for sure.
The aroma of this thing, it is so nice in here. It is absolutely pleasant. I'd give that a 10 also.
Solid, very aromatic. I like the pleasant smell that it gives off.
Yeah. The draw, I think, is the only thing that I'm really going to say anything about, is because you really have to pull on it to get that draw out of it.
Yeah, you get a lot. I mean, you can tell on the foot of the cigar, it continues to put out a pretty good amount of smoke. And by seeing that, you would anticipate that you're going to get that much smoke through the draw. You have to do a double puff on it every single time.
Exactly.
To get a good, solid amount of smoke through the cigar. Even as though it's, you know, about 3 inches left of the cigar, you're still having to put a double puff on it to get a good smoke.
The looks of it is absolutely a beautiful cigar. It's got a nice sheen to it. It's just, it looks like a great cigar, and it really is.
Yeah, I would highly recommend it.
So the looks, I'm going to give a 9 or 10 actually. I'll give that
appearance-wise, I have no issues with the way it looked. The band is an attractive band. It's a very simple, easy to read, easy to decipher what it is. The cigar itself is a nice, straight cigar. It's not crooked and lumpy. It's just smooth on the construction of the wrapper. As I said, it does look like it's wrapped a little bit too tight. You could tell that through the way that you see some stretching in the tobacco leaf as it wraps around the cigar. And aside from that, though, just the appearance is a very, very appealing appearance.
And this taste, wow. I am absolutely amazed with the taste. It tastes absolutely wonderful. I would easily give that a 10 on the taste.
I'd go for a solid 9, only because some of that spice, some of the other stuff that you get in the beginning does mellow out, and but it does retain a good flavor throughout.
Yeah. Overall, I would give this cigar 9.5 easy.
Solid.
Absolutely just a wonderful, wonderful time smoking it. So
I'm with you, and I recommend the 40 Creek. I would definitely give that a solid 9 as well.
Oh, easily a 9, 9.5 even. So, guys, that's from us here at Sipping a Smoke. Cheers.
Cheers.